Hello everyone, I'm Naval Yamal. So welcome to my channel of Power BI playlist. So in this video we are going to see about visualization. So till now we have seen about Power Query, some part of DAX, and now we are going to start about visualization. So we'll see what are the basic charts, some of the column charts, bar charts, and how to use those charts in Power BI. So it is so simple, anyone can understand it quickly. So let us start now. I have loaded Adventure Works dataset. You can see. Let me show you the data model, how it looks exactly. So when you look on the model, you can see we have already created a star schema. That is, we have a fact table and we have all dimension tables surrounded to the fact table. It looks like a star, one fact and all dimension table. Now we have discussed in detail about data modeling. What do you mean by one? What do you mean by star? If you have not, if you did not get this concept, so I strongly recommend you to watch my previous videos. So we have cleared it, and we have also cleared like why this relationship is so important. If you do not have a relationship, or if you are not building a relationship, what will happen? So if you are taking any field from this sales table, and if you are taking any field from this date table, you will not get the correct visuals because these two are not connected if it is not connected. But I can see here your date table and sales table. I have connected it with a relationship from one to many, and your flow direction is on the single direction. Okay. Now let me start with the visualization. So just now we have discussed like Power BI is of four steps. First is get data. In get data, we use Power Query as a ETL tool. We do most of the ETL in Power Query. Once your data has been cleaned, once your data has been shaped, we do data modeling. So in data modeling, we go for like add modeling. We build a relationship between the tables, and we do lot of data modeling, like creating a star schema or maybe a snowflake schema and all those things. Once your model is created, we do use a language called a DAX, that is data analysis expression, to do some complex calculations. We use like the functions called the text functions, logical functions, depending upon the use case, depending upon the scenario, we will use a DAX. Then the most important inside the DAX functions are your time intelligence functions. So with the help of time intelligence functions, you can calculate, suppose if you want to calculate the last year's sale, last month sale, last quarter sale, if you want to calculate like last week sale or anything, if you want to calculate year to date sale, YOY, MOM, QPD, YTD, there are so many things we need to do in time intelligence functions. We will be doing that in our coming videos. Then the next part is visualization. So our third step is visualization. Once we complete with visualization, we go with share the data, okay, or sharing. So for sharing, we use Power BI service and get data, data modeling, visualization. We all do this in our Power BI desktop. So now let us start with the third step, that is visualization. So why Power BI is, like we call Power BI as a visualization tool. So in this session, you will understand clearly like why it is called as a visualization tool. So Power BI has so many visuals. You can see here inbuilt visuals. These are called inbuilt visuals. If you try to count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are almost 36 to 37 visuals in this inbuilt visuals. Okay. So now let me talk about this pane. This is a visualization pane. Here you can build a visuals, and here you have your format. So you can see a paint brush. It looks like a formatting. So the first and foremost thing is when you start creating a report, you need to set up your canvas. So this white colored background is called a canvas or your report area. So you can see here report canvas. So first you need to set up some page size and color on this background. So let me click on this canvas. Let me go to format, and you have see so many options related to the page. So page information, it is shown like a page name. You can rename the page name here also by just double clicking on. Same like Excel, we there we use a sheet 1, sheet 2 and so on. Here you can give a overview. Just an example, you can give a name called overview. It is changed here. You can see page information. Then you have lot of options. We will see that one by one. And you have a canvas setting. So by default, the type is 16 by 9. If you want to change to letter, tooltip, page, or if you want to customize your own page, you can do according to that. If I click on custom, you can change your own width and height. So let me keep it by default. That is 16 is to 9. That comes around 720 to 1280 pixel. And you can change the alignment from vertical top or middle. So you can see according to your requirement, you can change your canvas setting. You can put or you can add any wallpaper behind the scene. Suppose if you have any company logo, you can just add a company logo. So let me show you how you can add. So let me click on browse, and I have some logo. Let me just show you. Yeah, I have one logo that is of my Power BI. Okay, let me check. Yeah, I guess I have one certification badge. You can see I got some certification badge, but I don't want that size. You can reduce the size, you can reduce the transparency color. You can do in this way, so your image stays in that. So you can change it to fit. You can see you can change it to fill, or you can put it into the normal mode also. So if you have any company's logo and if you want to put that as a wallpaper, you can do it. You can change the transparency to 0 or to 100. So let me take one of the visual here. Yeah, now let me go back and add that wallpaper and remove the transparency. You can see you got some of the title. So let me remove it. Yeah. So this is how you can set up a background image for the canvas, and you have canvas background. Okay. So by default, it will show you the white color, but at any time you can change. So you can change to blue. You can see the transparency is 0. You can just reduce your transparency. You may change your background color, or you can call a canvas background. You can do it at any time after building a visuals also. You can do it. Okay. So let me keep it maybe dark blue, and let me just reduce a little bit of color. Okay, this looks good. Then let me put and background image also. Let me show you. I will pick another image. For example, I have Tata Mutual Funds image. So yeah, you can see this Tata Mutual Funds image. You can reduce the transparency and increase the transparency, and you can play with that. So sorry, I will increase the transparency of this image. Okay. So this is how you can change the wallpaper, or at any time you can just click on this reset to default. Everything will be in the normal. So it will ask you for the filter pane, settings on filter pane, on settings on the filter cards. We will see this later on. Now let me start building a visuals. So these were the options or formatting on the report page, or it is on the canvas. Now if I start building a report, now I'm building a visual. Now when you click on the visual, your options may change. You can see here, you get a format, but this format is for your visual. So whatever visual you have created, we are formatting that. Okay, so let me focus on this formatting part later on. Now let us start building a visual. So before building a visual, I would like to show you how a bar chart looks like and how a column chart looks like. Very, very simple, guys. Very simple. You can just see this is your bar chart and this is your column chart. But in Power BI, we have three different types of charts in bar and three in column. So this is a bar chart. This is called as a stacked bar chart. And if you just skip one and see one more, you have a clustered bar chart. And one more you have is 100% stacked bar chart. When you talk about column, similarly you have stacked column chart, clustered column chart, and 100% stacked column chart. So let me quickly show you what do you mean by stacked bar and clustered bar chart. Okay, then similarly we can go with the column chart also. So let me remove this background. Actually we can set up that background or wallpaper later on. uh, Background, let me remove this. Yeah, it looks good now. So now let me choose the first chart, that is your bar chart. Now, when you're taking a bar chart, you got some fields here. You can see we got x-axis, sorry, y-axis, x-axis, legends, small multiples, tooltips, and so on. But there's a lot of meaning here. So, suppose I want to do some analysis based on my sales amount. So, actually, I am looking at the sales amount, which is inside my sales table, sales amount column. If I tick this, so you can just see Power BI is so like it is so powerful that once you tick it, it is automatically taking the value inside the x-axis. It is showing you some x-axis value. Now when you tick, it goes inside the x-axis because it is a summation. Now if I want to do some analysis like total sales amount with respect to product. Okay, I want to check on which category I am getting the sales, category wise. So if I tick this, you can see it is automatically going into the y-axis and you got your bar chart. Now you can see that, hey, my sales on bikes are more. Then the second is components, the third is clothing, and in accessories I have very less. Now you can see that once I hover or once I move my cursor to this bars, you can see you get one black colored highlighted. This is called a tooltip. So tooltip means it will show you some information of that bar. So a tooltip, you got a tooltip. Here also you got a tooltip, and here you can see the sales amount. Yeah. So the sales amount for the bikes is this much. The sales amount for this is this much and this much and so on. So this is how your bar chart looks like. Now you can see how powerful this tool is. It is automatically created the filters. This is called a filter context where you can see the category has been filtered, like total sales amount has been filtered according to the category. Now, if I say, hey, I don't want to look into the category, I want to look into, suppose, with the country code or with the state one. Let me click on the state and you can see that, hey, you can see we got all the states here, but like we are getting one value as not applicable. We'll see how to deal with this not applicable value later on. Okay. Now, if I want to do some analysis based on the date, so let me click on date. Now you can see we got a sales amount with respect to the date. So 2017, I was having this much sale, 18 this much, 19 this much, 20 this much. You can see that. Beautiful. So how we are getting results? So because of this data model, you can see in modeling, we have taken the date column from date table, sales amount column from the sales table. That's why we are getting these results. Now, if you look carefully at this y-axis and x-axis, if I remove this, for example, it is always like we are doing some analysis based on the y-axis. So on this axis. So this y-axis always take a categorical values. For example, if you are doing some analysis based on city, it will go to the y-axis. Based on country, it will go to the y-axis. Based on date, it will go to y-axis. If you want to, like, if you are thinking like, shall I take order quantity in y-axis? No. How can you take a sum here? This is an integer. If you are taking the order quantity, it will not go in the sum. You can see it is not going inside the y-axis also. So you cannot do analysis based on order quantity with sales. What you are trying to find out? No, I don't know what exactly it is. Okay, if you ask me, can I take the sales order line key in this? No, what is line key? So you need to check the data. Come to the data view, go to the sales table. Now look at the sales key. I'm talking about something sales territory key. No, you have all integer. There is no use taking this column. Then you have a product table. Now if you ask me, can I take product? Yeah, you can take product. You can take color. You can take model. You can take subcategory. You can take category. Can I take product key? No. What is the use of taking the product key with the sales amount? So you have the product key as an integer. So that's why we are avoiding it. So you need to think on what should be in the y-axis and what should be in the x-axis. Now, so let me do the analysis based on the date. So if I tick on date, automatically it will go to the y-axis. You can see if I tick, it will go to the y-axis. You can see it. Now let me show you other way to build this visual. Let me remove this. Let me remove this both. Now many folks say that Power BI is so simple. Yeah, it is just like drag and drop. So what do you mean by drag and drop? I'll tell you that. So if you just drag this date column, now you need to think, okay, this date goes in the y-axis. So you will get dates here on the y-axis. You can see year, year. And when you take a sales amount obviously it goes in the x-axis because I want to do analysis based on the date with the sales. So x-axis will be your sales. This is the second method. I can use pick directly or I can use drag and drop. This is the second method. The third method is instead of dragging and dropping it on the x-axis, Power BI is so smart that if you just drag and drop that in a visual, it will take that in the x-axis also. So these are the ways where you drag and drop, drag and drop. Now I'm just telling you how smart Power BI is. Now we have taken a bar chart. How can you know that? You can see this bar chart is highlighted here. Stacked bar chart. Now, if you ask me, can I change this to column chart? Obviously, you can change this to a column chart. You don't need to do anything. Just click on this visual and say that, hey, I want to change this to a column chart. Can you do that for me? Yeah, just click it. You can see it is changed to a column chart. Now you need to be very good at storytelling and you need to check whether this data is looks good at bar chart or a column chart. Now you need to think in that way. I'll tell you what are the ways to improve your storytelling. We will see that later on. Now you can convert to a column chart. Now if you look carefully in column chart, your whatever we had, okay, let me copy this, paste it here. You can do copy paste simple like Microsoft's tool, like we all love it. Just press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, it will copy and it will paste. Let me click on this visual, change it to bar chart. You can see here. When you are in the bar chart, your y-axis is your date, x-axis is your sum. If you click on the column chart, now you will be seeing the x-axis in dates. Obviously, you can see here, x-axis is your dates and your y-axis is your sum. So this is automatically done. Now, if you ask me that, hey, can I do that or can I bring this in a table? Obviously, you can do it. Very simple. Here you have a table. You can see here you have a table. Just click on the table. You will convert all your dates and sum of sales amount inside a table. You can just scroll it and you can see. This is how powerful the tool is. With few clicks, you can change. With few clicks. Okay, can I change it to column chart again? Yeah, you can do that. So this is how the difference between a column chart and a bar chart is. Now let me explain about, let me reduce this size little bit. Let me reduce this size little bit. Now I have a stacked column chart. Let me take a clustered column chart here, okay, below this. Now if I add same values here like dates, so if I click on dates, obviously it goes to the x-axis, or if I drag and drop in the x-axis, or if I drag in the visual, drag and drop in the visual, it goes in the x-axis. You can see here, okay. And if I take a sales amount, drag and drop in the y-axis cell, or you can just drag and drop it somewhere here. So you can see that both the visuals are showing the same results. same results as the visuals are different. This is a stacked column chart and this is a clustered column chart. But what is the difference? So for that, let me add one more value. So I have, suppose a product quantities, I have a quantity, or let me look at the profit. Do I have a profit in this? I don't think we have a profit. We have calculated it. Okay, no worries. Let me take a order quantity column. So let me drag and drop it here. So now you can see that you got the sum of order sales, order quantity, but I cannot see that. So to like display your visual in a larger size, you can use this focus mode. You can see here you have a focus mode. So if you click on focus mode, entire canvas will get that visual. Now already you can see there is a small dark line. You can see here that is sum of order quantity. The values are very small when you compare to the sales amount. So let me remove this. Let me think on different values. So I have unit price. So let me click on unit price and check what happens. Yeah, beautiful. You can see here. I whatever the dark blue color is there, that is showing me a sum of unit price, and this light blue color is showing me the sum of sales amount. Now this is what a stacked column is. Now let me just take a sales amount, sorry, unit price, and put it into the clustered column chart. Okay, drag and drop. Now you can see the difference. Easily you understand. Like stacks are nothing but if you keep like products one above the other. Like we, if you go for the shopping, we can see that there are some products which are stacked one above the other. Then that is an example of stack. And cluster is, it is not one above the other, but it is aside of each other. So this is a clustered and this is a stack. I hope you have understood the difference between a column and bar and clustered column with a stacked column. I hope you have understood the difference between the clustered column and stacked column chart. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, please like the video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you very much. Keep learning.